Pennsylvania. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, so real quickly, I only like Secure Pro because I love my neighbor, but I refuse to drink their heart medication.
Well water is some of the most polluted stuff in the country. You got glyphosate, you got all your neighbor's medications that they're putting into a septic tank. That then goes into the groundwater and you drink it. So absolutely, the number one thing anybody can do. And by the way, I forget to do this again, man. When I drink filtered water, when I take the supplements, my life's so much better. When I forget, because I'm not Mr. Freaking Health, I feel it. So yes.
This is AM 730 KQB, West Memphis, Marion, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee.
Get ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. For the next hour, we will forget about the black man, we will forget about the white man, and we will deal with the human. Pastor Andre Guy is here to answer your questions from a biblical perspective. He's an humble man who's on a mission to bring the church together with a Bible and a dictionary. He will tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help him God. And now, here's Pastor Andre Guy.
Well, good evening, Memphis and the rest of the world. Welcome to another edition of The Truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. I'm Andre Gary. Hey, you want to break up? For the next hour, let's forget about the black man. Let's forget about the white man. Still with the human from a Bible perspective, if you will. Feel free to call in at 901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490 for any comments, suggestions, agreements, or even disagreements we may have. We can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Okay, this is the Truth Radio Show brought to you by the Truth Radio Network. We deal with everything from sex, race, religion, politics, and even sometimes sports from a Bible perspective. Let me say something too. Somebody texted me earlier today. They was asking me about Bobby OJ and WDIA and why they don't talk about the Bible and Christian things like that more often. And let me share something. In all honesty, for Bobby and Bill and all them, it's not the format they're in. They're in the entertainment format, and that's what they work for. That's what they're being paid for. People that more than likely listen to that station aren't looking to hear Bible scriptures or Bible songs because they're looking to be entertained. So they have to stick with the format they're dealing with. And this format here is based on the Bible, so I'm not leaning toward entertaining you. I'm leaning toward enlightening you. So in all due respect, it's not that they don't want to talk about the Bible. I don't know. I don't know them personally what their spiritual life is. But in the format they're in, they can't do what I do. Since God has blessed me with this format, I'm doing what I do. And let's try to teach you with the word of God, because at the end of the day, you're not going to laugh your way out of this. And you can't find what you're looking for through Leo, Taurus, or Gemini. You got to go to God. And in the process, what is happening is the people that proclaim to be believers are not operating in the power, in the instructions, in the protection, and the chastisement of God. Today's show, we're going to deal with the white and black nationalists. Okay. You know, the white nationalists, Joe Biden says he's running for president and he's going to take on white supremacy. I still don't understand what legislation he's going to come up with to change or stop white supremacy. A person who thinks that they are white supreme because they're white, that's a disease of the heart. And you can't legislate morality. You can't change people's heart. Now, back in the years, people that had hateful hearts like that, they punished people through the laws with Jim Crow and with slavery and all these such.
Well, I got a question.
Okay.
Well, I can't understand what you're going to do. If you're going to fight white supremacy, you're going to start separating people again or what? I don't understand.
I don't know. And nobody asked that question. Just like when they tell people that we're going to fight for reparations, and you ask them, okay, what reparations are you trying to give us? Well, we're going to hold the discussion. Sheila Lee has put up the question of reparations on the Congress and Senate for 15 years. You have Barack Obama, Democratic Congress and Senate. If reparation really was an issue that they were going to deal with, or it was real, it would have been dealt with. True. That's the fantasy that they present to people, all in the name of your blackness. And just like a white nationalist is evil, so is a black nationalist. Anybody that starts the foundation of who they are, what they believe, and what they're trying to accomplish based on race is a racist, and it's of Lucifer. Ain't nothing but the devil. And I ain't talking about that Lucifer morning star on a TV show that people enjoying. I'm talking about Satan himself. So yesterday, and somebody mentioned about all these mass shootings that we have.
Yep, they did.
Said that was an example of the white supremacy. Sound crazy? Let me play this commercial before I get the video started.
Okay.
I'm trying to do 3 things at one time. They mentioned about the mass shootings that they have, and that's an example of white supremacy because white men are doing the mass shootings. First of all, that's an example. Okay, there we go. That's an example of evil. And second of all, if it's an example of white supremacy, the young man who did this is white. The people that he shot were white. One of them, the teenager that they haven't shown yet, I understand, is a transgender white. If it wasn't for the Hispanic who lost his life, probably would have shot or killed more people. It's not a matter of white supremacy. Black supremacy is a matter of evil, y'all. But a lot of the foundation of it comes from this thing of white and black. So, we talk about the Carolina incidents and we talk about all the incidents that happen, and we ignore some things in the black community that is just as poisonous, just as infectious as white nationalism. Let me play this interaction between the black nationalists and the Jew. Let me say them to you that say you're Christian too. Read your Bible. Romans chapter 2, verse 28 through 29 says if you're a Christian, you're a Jew. And when they try to get you to follow Allah, Google it. Don't trust me. Google what is the Hebrew word for cursed. It's Allah. It's off of hate, y'all. Let me play a few. It's 14 minutes. I'm going to play about 5 minutes of it. Then we're going to come back and wrap. But I want to read y'all some things directly from the Quran. Malcolm X said it when I played the video. The black Muslims over here, they're not real Muslims anyway. They're not. The practicing Muslims in the Middle East do not consider themselves sected with this group over here called themselves black Muslims. And when they teach out this Quran. Because I'm going to show you little kids in Philadelphia where they're paying through the public school system for these kids to pray in Islamic jihadist prayer to cut your head off. Let's start with the black nationalists first.
Removed from your ghettos of Warsaw and Krakow. You are removed from your ghettos, white Jew. But these, the sons and daughters of Africa, we are still in the ghettos of white America to this very day that we sit here tonight. This is the ugly face of black nationalism in America. No Jew on the face of the planet Earth can say that you were robbed of your name, your language, your religion, your culture, your God, your folkways, your mores, your norms. If you do, you're a damn liar. And as Jesus said, the truth is not in you.
Why won't you?
Of violent anti-Semitism, the causes of which are understood only by disciples.
The only reason we speak upon the Jewish community or elements thereof is their relationship to our suffering.
But why single out one group from the white community, especially one that suffered already so terribly?
We contended that the Jewish Talmud, which was practiced yesterday and today, caused more murders of Africans than all of the gas chambers in Nazi Germany.
The type of anti-Semitism that he is preaching now is the type of anti-Semitism that was preached by Hitler in the 1930s in Germany. Norman Rosenbaum knows the results of this sort of hate-mongering. His brother Yenkel was beaten and stabbed to death during the anti-Jewish rioting in Brooklyn in 1991.
Watch your rolling over there.
Rosenbaum is on a mission to get the U.S. Attorney General to reopen the case against his brother's alleged murderers.
You don't have an appointment with the president, but they're not going to give it to you. It's our weapons fund. Australia that gets killed in the United States doesn't get the attention. But maybe the best form of defense is offense. You got nothing to lose. You're here. Yes, never seen business today.
Khalid Mohammed is in Washington on a mission of his own. He's considered by many Jews to be one of the most dangerous men in America. So his well-publicized decision to tour the city's Holocaust Museum was met with justified suspicion.
He is so bigoted that you can't possibly change his mind. So no matter what you say, he's still going to say that.
Well, even if it's, they did suffer, but you can't blame the people today that never were over here. They were in Europe during the time there was slavery here. You can't blame them for the slavery here.
But in the end, they let him in.
Just throw me a name.
Norman Rosenbaum's passion for justice has made him friends in high places. In the US Congress, he's lobbied extensively to get powerful voices behind his push to reopen the books on his brother's murder.
Norman. Hi, how are you?
How are you, buddy? Good to see you. How's your family?
Some, like New York Republican Senator Al D'Amato, no doubt have good political reasons for keeping the Jewish lobby on side.
You know me, quiet on the shoe.
But the access this Australian gets here is also due in part to fears of racial conflagration. The man who's fanning those flames came out of the Holocaust Museum unabashed and apparently unmoved to deliver his pre-prepared speech to the waiting cameras.
As we toured the Jewish Holocaust Memorial, we thought of how out of the German people, the so-called Jews were given a Schindler's List. But out of the white man of America and the European nations, the Jews and Arabs who participated in the Black or the African Holocaust, we were given a swindler's list.
We have a duty also to let the world know that there was another Holocaust which gives its truest definition, the Black Holocaust.
Surely it just denigrates your own case to turn hatred on the Jews.
White Christians, the Catholics have all admitted their role in our oppression, but the ones who have consistently denied and kept secret their role was the Jewish people. Now the secret relationship is being revealed.
Just over the Brooklyn Bridge from Manhattan is the neighborhood of Crown Heights. And here, the relationship between blacks and Jews is no secret.
Crown Heights became an integrated community. And it's probably the only truly integrated community in the United States, where you actually have black people and white people, and not just white people, but Hasidic Jews living side by side in the same community. Now, we always thought that Crown Heights was a model community for that reason. August 91 shattered that belief that we had. It shattered that feeling that we had. It was a shame, of course, that such a thing had to happen.
It was that summer that festering animosity erupted into 3 days of anti-Jewish rioting. The riot was triggered by a car accident involving the motorcade of the chief rabbi. The accident killed the child, Gavin Cater, and critically injured his cousin, Angela. Jews here described the vengeful rioting that followed as a pogrom.
When we were out there on the streets and we saw raised fists in an organized fashion screaming, "Heil Hitler, kill the Jews," these weren't local kids from the community. These were professional troublemakers who had come to this community, and they were using this refrain, "Heil Hitler, kill the Jews."
They yell about being abused, but they were up
protected. They were well protected. The Levante Hasidics have come into this area not to be just part of the community, but to take over and push out.
Dr. Vernon Cave lives in the heart of Crown Heights with mostly Jewish neighbours. In 1991, he saw the rioters from his front yard.
And as soon as I saw them running down, I retreated because I wasn't going to be part of any conflict of any kind.
He believes the anger had been building up for years as the Hasidic community took root and grew here.
General thing, what activity was...
The doctor's a good man. He says he has Jewish friends, but he can't help himself thinking there's a conspiracy going on here.
From my perspective, that is correct. And I would say that anybody who looked at the whole thing would end up with the same conclusion.
So are you saying that you believe that some blacks have been forced out of their homes and their businesses in Crown Heights?
They certainly have. They have been forced out. First forced out primarily with the power of money. They will call you up. They will knock on your door. They and ask you if you want to sell your house, and they'll guarantee you all cash.
Crown Heights' main synagogue is the hub of the Orthodox Lubavitcher community.
You come in at 4 o'clock in the morning, you'll find people there.
Yeah.
You will see that people come in, they chat, say hello, they then go and pray, others go straight to prayer.
Here in the men's section is the most concrete example of the religious traditions that bind these people together. One of the things that's obvious about this community, and you've noted it yourself, is that it takes pride in being different. Is it their distinctiveness that's made them a target?
It's not so much their physical appearance and their identity per se which makes them a target. If anything, it's the envy and jealousy. For example, it's a community which shows initiative. It doesn't wait for the city to react to unemployment and welfare problems and issues. They do it themselves.
What I try. My people to learn from the Hasidic community. How can 20,000 people take in a community that's over 100,000 strong and have the sort of economic, social, and political power? I want to learn from that.
Discipline of the mind is the basic ingredient of general morality and therefore of spiritual strength. That's pretty much most of it. So now, Q. Mm-hmm. He said the Jews buying their houses, paying them cash for it. Mm-hmm. What's evil about that? Don't know. The guy, Muhammad, I think he broke off. I think he fell into it with Farrakhan there. But anyway, he's a Muslim. You know, the hate that he had for the Jews. I want y'all to notice something. Let me read it to you. Romans chapter 2. Romans chapter 2. If you say you're a believer, you need to start reading the Bible of yours. True. Romans chapter 2. I think I want to act that when I want to go to that word, don't I? I go to a quick commercial break. You want to? Go to Machine Armstrong, and we'll be right back. Oh, no, here it is. I got it. Came up. Here it is. Romans chapter 2. Verse 28 and 29 should be. In your Bible, you read Romans chapter 1, that's the one that'll tell you about the homosexuality, and if you endorse it out, you're going to be punished as well. Romans chapter 2, verse 28. Start 27. Matter of fact, 26. Therefore, if uncircumcision keepeth the righteousness of the law, shall not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision? And shall not uncircumcision, which is by nature, if it fulfill the law, judge thee, who by the letter and circumcision doth transgress the law? That's some stuff letting you know about how Jesus is now our new hope over the laws and rituals of the Old Testament. Here's the kicker, verse 28. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh. That means because you named a certain thing, or because you came from a certain family, or because you came from a certain region, that does no longer make you a Jew. Jew has no race. You're not white, they're not black, they're not Asian, they're not Hispanic, they're not Middle Eastern. They have a relationship with God. Jews are God's chosen people. As he told you in the Old Testament, the Jew and the Jew alone is my chosen people. When Jesus came, he came so that you didn't have to be born a Jew like in the Old Testament tradition, but you could be reborn again in the tradition of grace and mercy and now be a Jew, because verse 29 says this. It just told us who is not a Jew. Now this is who, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of God. Now let me add this to it now. The Semitic Jews that they were talking about in that particular story, number one, those are not the Jews of the New Testament. The Jews of the New Testament are those who accepted Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior according to what the Bible says. But what has happened is, because of their hatred of even the Old Testament Jew, because see, understand this now. The New Testament Jew, the Old Testament Jew is still our brother. The Bible says they are the natural root. We are the grafted branches. And we have been brought in to bring them to jealousy, to let them know that, yes, Jesus is the Messiah. No, there's not one coming after David. He has came, and his name is Christ. So I understand about the false Jew. Even in Revelation, it tells you that when the Armageddon comes and when the rapture happens, that there will be those in Jerusalem who call themselves Jews who are not actually of the synagogue of Satan. I get that. That does not stop us from understanding that Jew means God's chosen people. Anybody that goes against the Jew, they going against the God that you say you believe in.
True.
Now, in Philadelphia, Q, so I led up to that for this. Thank God for Joseph, best investigator we got, him and Shaft. In Philadelphia, Q, public school, they got the kids where they teaching them. Let me find it. Not pro like now I go to a commercial break. They teaching the kids 6, 7, 8, 9 years old to cut people's head off that don't believe in Allah.
Wow.
You go ahead and play Sheena Armstrong, I'll find it. I'll be right back with you.
Are you looking for affordable auto, home, life, renters, or barrier insurance? Insurance in Memphis shop multiple carriers to find the best rate for our customers. Have an issue with driving license or SR22 filing? Insurance in Memphis has a market just for you. When the other says no, Insurance in Memphis says yes. Insurance in Memphis is located at 3556 Hickory Hill Road at 901-417-8022. Call your local authorized progressive agent, Sheena. Call her mama, she give you a free quote, and you'll be glad you did.
All right, y'all, we're back, and I found this pulling up now. As this pulling up, Q, let me read y'all a few things from the Quran. I told y'all I had this here. So that way you know when you're fighting for your blackness, you know what this holy book that they read is really saying.
Okay.
Let me pull this back up again. In Surah chapter 2, verse 190, that's what it says. Fight in the cause of Allah, those who fight you, but do not transgress limits, for Allah loveth not transgressors. Enslay them wherever you catch them, and turn them out from whence they have turned you out. For tumult and oppression are worse than slaughter. But fight them not at the sacred mosque, the church alone, unless they first fight you there. But if they fight you, slay them. Such is the reward of those who suppress faith. So, you know, this religion teaches that you get blessed if you kill in the name of Allah. Let's pause for the call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
What's up, man? This is RC.
Hello, RC. How you doing, sir?
What's going on?
All right. Y'all see y'all talking about the Bible. Y'all going back and forth about the racism and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I look at it like this, guys. And like I was saying to you earlier, that I look at the Bible as being spiritual and practical. Okay? And a lot of things that I run to day-to-day situation, I look at that in that way. Now, if you go to the Bible to 1824 Proverbs.
If I go what now?
I said you go to Proverbs.
Okay.
1824.
Okay.
When it talks about friends and it talks about brothers. Just because a person considers himself to be my brother doesn't mean they mean me any good.
Okay.
Now, a true friend, it can be any race or anything. Those are the people who committed to you, want to see good come from you, and want to do good by you. Because a true friend is closer than a brother. Basically what the Bible was saying. So people going back and forth say, okay, my race is better than yours, your race is better than mine. A lot of times those people, you know what I'm saying, destroy themselves within.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's no good in that organization. You look at someone like George Wallace, the governor of Alabama. He did his whole campaign on racism and stuff like that. And there was a white man that shot him.
Yeah, but not. Do you know what George Wallace did before he died?
Yeah, of course. He repented for the things that he did and said.
Right, he went to the NAACP meeting and they were spitting on him. He was in a wheelchair and everything. And he told them, no, I'm going to sit here and take everything they're going to do because I deserve to sit here and take it. Okay, and another point. He even realized white supremacy was evil. Exactly. Then you look at the case of Malcolm X. Okay. Like he lived. You know, how he went over to Mecca and found out that what Elijah Muhammad was teaching them about hating the white man, it was evil. It was wrong. Exactly. And he later recanted the things that he said about white people. He did. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you something. And the brother, they seen the difference. Right, I understand, like Martin Luther King said, everybody my color is not my kind, everybody my kind is not my color. I get that. Let me ask you a question, RC. Okay. If we recognize that, why is it that, let's take Joe Biden, for example, when he comes out and says he's running for president, and if he gets elected president, he's going to do something about white supremacy. White supremacy ain't doing nothing to us today. It was doing something in the 60s, it was doing something in the 1800s, but white supremacy, as far as on a legalistic standpoint, is not doing anything else today. If a man is, the white nationalists, they go out there and march, are they bothering you? Oh, okay, Pastor. I'm going to answer this like this. Okay, I see white supremacy and racism as two totally different things. Because white supremacy is just that, white supremacy. Because you have white supremacy about white people. Don't tell me about it. I told you this, RC, but white supremacy is the foundation of racism. That means that my race is superior to yours. Exactly. That's the foundation of racism. Okay, basically what I'm trying to say, Pascal. That's a creative term. What's a creative term? White supremacy. Okay, let's follow what I'm trying to say, Pascal. Okay, you have people who consider themselves to be supreme, white supreme. Right, okay. Just like you got black nationalists, you got white nationalists, you got white supremacists, you have black supremacists. Exactly. Have you ever heard a black man say that the black man is God? Mm-hmm. And those same people who consider themselves to be white supremacists or black supremacists, if one consider, if a white man try to help a black man, that same white supremacy will go against that white man. Just as well as that black supremacy will go against that black guy if he help a white guy. So black supremacy or white supremacy only care about themselves. Okay, I agree with you. It don't have nothing to do with race. So that means we need to stop that, though. I agree with you. So that means we need to stop it. I'm better than you. We need to stop that. We need to stop that, don't we? Exactly, we do. Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. Guys like Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, or people that play the race card, when they say that white folks are still oppressing black people, what do you say to that? Well, Pastor Guy, like I said, everybody have their circumstances. Okay, I don't know. Me personally, Pastor Guy, you personally. I'm not oppressed by white supremacy or white races or things like that because I know who I am. Okay. And I feel the same way. White man doesn't control anything that I'm doing or want to do in life. God got me covered on that.
Exactly. I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to get over that and not fall into that system, you got to know who you are. But Joe Biden can tell you anything, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know who you are, you'll fall up under that.
You'll fall under I see. You know what you're right about. I'm glad I got some legal work I think you can help me with. I'm glad you said that. Mm-hmm. Did you read today's paper?
No, I didn't.
Okay, they had my aunt in it.
I followed the news, but I didn't read the paper.
Okay, in today's paper, they had my aunt in the paper. She went to the doctor, they cut the wrong leg off. Mm-hmm. She went back, they cut her other leg off. Now they say she can't sue.
Okay, what's your question?
Why can't she sue? She went to the doctor, they cut the wrong leg off. That's a suit right there. She went back, they cut the other leg off. Now they say she can't sue.
Well, she got a bad lawyer, Pastor Guy, because
the lawyer told me that she doesn't have a leg to stand on. See. 901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490. I found it. Here go to the school in Philadelphia. I think school. Now, the lady's going to be talking. I'm going to read to you what the children are praying because they're not saying it, but the words are here. But I promise you, I'm going to read you correctly. And then I'm going to read from you from the Quran to show you what they're saying is in that Quran. Oh, it's in there. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And, of course, tell your friends, go to WMQM 1600 AM YouTube channel. Anytime you'd like to listen to the show later on and share it with somebody, and subscribe, and got to play the Fox commercial. Subscribe and like, so we can build the show up. The world needs to hear the truth, and we got it here. We focus on none but God. Here we go.
Amazing story for you. The Muslim American Society is investigating an oversight after a shocking video surfaces showing children in Philadelphia at an Islamic center chanting violent phrases. Watch this.
We were to defend the land of divine guidance with our bodies, and we would sacrifice our souls without hesitation. We would chop off their heads. We would lead the army of Allah fulfilling his promise, and we would subject them to eternal torture.
What is this?
Those who accept humiliation, what is the point of their existence?
Isolated
Those who
incident
reject
among this
oppression
group.
are the ones
You
who
have
search
Wayne's Muslim scholar, Dr. Ghanta Ahmed. Thank you so much for joining us. So oversight and not properly vetted. What do you think about this?
To be fair, the Muslim American Society has made a statement published in the Hill today that they had rented out space to another group. It wasn't representative of the society, and now they're looking into who the decision makers were, and they are even firing the chapter leaders. So I think this has come as a shock to them. But to me, as a Muslim in America, this is devastating, and this is exactly the kind of indoctrination.
We will lead the arm of Allah fulfilling his promise. They say that over and over.
Of children that promotes and leads to the success of Islamist movements like Palestinian Islamic Jihad, who are now launching their attacks on Israel. Those movements cannot function without the indoctrination of youth, and it's happening here in America.
Yeah, we want to bring up their statement because we had this statement from them. They said not all songs were properly vetted. This was an unintended mistake and an oversight in which the center and the students are remorseful. They will conduct an internal investigation to ensure that this does not occur again. So they weren't fully aware of what the group that they rented the space out to were going to do. Is that
according to what they claim, the Muslim American Society has a history of being founded by the Muslim Brotherhood in 1993. That's confirmed in FBI.
Let's pause for the call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Why do white women that?
My wife asked me about that last night. She asked me, I think those other guy have some kind of fetish with white women, or is that what he dated? Where did all this come from, other guy? You just been...
Your wife asked you a question that only I can answer.
Okay.
You tell her the reason. Yes, I do. I didn't talk about white women.
You know, so the master listening, don't you?
Well, I love her.
She not white.
Doesn't matter. I don't matter. I'm not going to turn down one of my black sisters for these white women. Now, come on, man. I'm not talking about white women today. Okay. I want to talk about what you're talking about, these jihadists. Okay. It's hard for me to talk about these jihadists. You need to help me. What's a jihadist?
That's a Muslim extremist. That's a person who has, they've taken the Quran, they got another thing they call a hajib, where they take it, they believe that they are on a mercenary mission to murder people, to make them believe in Allah and Islam.
Oh, so jihadists is something like these skinheads.
Jihadists is something like, what's the guy named that blew up the Murrow Center in, Timothy McVeigh. Timothy McVeigh was a Christian extremist. He claimed to be a Christian, but what he did, it was not in the philosophy of Christianity. Now, however, the jihadists, it can be shown in Christianity, it does not allow you to attack. It allows you to defend. In the Old Testament, God did do killing. In the New Testament, Jesus changed that. In the Quran, it teaches them where not only are you to fight, but you are to lay in wait and beleaguer them who do not believe that Allah is God and Muhammad is his prophet.
Okay, so with all this mass killing done by white guys, are they jihadists?
Are they jihadists? No.
They're not. They're just doing it out of what?
Some people doing it out of mental illness. Some people doing it out of mental illness. Some people doing it out of just plain evil. Some people do it for religious belief. But no, take the shooting in Denver, in Colorado the other day. Those were not jihadists. I know the teenager was a transgender. I don't know if they did it because of that, and the other one was young. But you know when it's a jihadist, because they're going to holler Allah Akbar. That means Allah is great. So they kill.
Well, I don't know what these white guys in America are hollering.
They ain't hollering nothing in America. They just shoot. Hold on, you got a text came in. Hold on.
From DP Moore's John's mother. Other guy is sick.
Oh God, the other guy.
Who said that?
Mother Jones.
She wants me. Mother Jones wants me. Ask Mother Jones if she's white.
No, Mother Jones ain't white.
She ain't white, well, there's no chance.
Yeah.
No chance. But that's back to the subject at hand.
Right. But anyway, let me tell you, jihadists there are people that believe that they are murdering people in the name of their God. Now keep this in mind. The black Muslims over here and the Islamists that were the jihadists
are different.
They are different. In the Middle East, they don't consider these guys Muslim. The black Muslim over here, all they do is have a lot of rhetoric, but they are not that I know of, been responsible for any kind of mass killing whatsoever.
No, I never heard them.
And the majority of people that are Muslims are peaceful people. I understand that. But the fact of the matter is, every Muslim is not a jihadist, but every jihadist is a Muslim.
I don't know why I can't buy it.
What do you mean bad? Have you ever heard a jihadist go and kill, murdering people, and the first thing he said was Jesus is Lord?
No, never heard that.
He said Allah Akbar. He's a Muslim. Only a Muslim is going to make that cry.
So let me see, can I get on the same page with you?
Okay.
So because they kill someone, a mass thing, these suicide bombing stuff, because they holler that in the name of their religion, that's what make them a jihadist?
Yes.
Okay, hey man, I swear, man, that's why I like the Truth radio station, because you gonna give not always the truth.
Well, look, I tell you what, if we talking about jihadists and Muslims, let me read you something from the Quran. I want you to tell me what you think about it.
Well, you can go ahead and read it, but since I don't subscribe to the Quran,
I don't know, you might like this part here.
Well, let me see do I like it.
Okay, this comes from Surah chapter 4, verse 34. This is what it says. It says, husbands are the protectors and the maintainers of their wives.
Keep waiting for that.
Yeah, let me keep going though. Okay. We're going to see if King James said this. Because Allah has given the one more strength than the other, and because they support them from their means, therefore the righteous women are devoutly obedient and guard in the husband's absence what Allah would have them guard. As to those women on whose part you fear disloyalty and ill conduct, abolish them first. Next, refuse to share their beds, and last, beat them lightly. But if they return to obedience, seek not against them means of annoyance, for Allah is most high great above y'all. But it said that, number one, let me go back to the first, it said on one for conduct, number one, You admonish them. You talk to them. Number 2, you refuse to share the bed. You don't have no sex with them. Number 3, you get that ass.
Well, number 2, I can't deal with it. That's share the bed with them and stuff.
Oh, you gonna have sex, ain't you? Even when you mad.
I don't agree with beating. You can't be beating no woman.
Wait a minute, that's what the Quran said.
Well, that ain't right.
The Quran ain't right.
Sir, I guess now I see why I don't subscribe to it.
What
I don't stick with King James. Hey,
you ain't doing nothing with King James. What you talking about? Stick with it.
Hey, man. Hey.
Okay, I got another. I got one more. I got one more for you.
All right, one more.
This is from Surah chapter 9, verse 5. You ready?
Yes.
Because you asked about being about a religion. Well, I think this will help you. It says, but when the forbidden ones are past, then fight and slay the pagans wherever you find them, and siege them, and beleaguer them. That means cut your head on and feet off, and lie in wait for them in every stratagem of war. But if they repent and establish regular prayers and practice regular charity, then open the way for them. For Allah is all forgiving, most merciful. So when the time comes, when they come to kill you, now if you go ahead and accept Allah as God and Muhammad as his prophet, they'll take it easy on you.
I'm going to be a headless other guy. All right? Now I see why I never picked up a Quran. Man, I can't subscribe to nothing like that. They don't stick with King James, man. Hey, y'all have a good one, man.
Yeah, all right, bye, man. I'm on the road. I guess I'll read one more, and then we'll go see what we got. This is from Surah chapter 9, verse 30. It says, the Jews call Jesus a son of God, and the Christians call Christ the son of God. That is a saying from their mouth. In this they but imitate what the unbelievers of old used to say, Allah's curse be on them, how they are deluded away from the truth. You believe Christ the son of God, you deluded away from the truth. They don't tell you that, do they? It's Surah 9, verse 31. They take their priests and their authorities to be their lords in the degradation of Allah. And they take as their Lord Christ, the son of Mary, yet they commanded to worship but one God. There is no good but he praise and glory to him. Far is he from having the partners they associate with him. Fain would they extinguish Allah's light with their mouth, but Allah would not allow but that his light should be perfected, even though the unbelievers made the test. I like share no table with Christ. Now you say you're a Christian, but then they got a thing now called the ecumenical movement. They're combining Christianity and Islam and Buddhism and atheism. All of it is just one. Oh, here's one, Surah chapter 4, verse 76. Those who believe fight in the cause of Allah, and those who reject faith fight in the cause of evil. So fight ye against the friends of Satan, feeble indeed in the cunning of Satan. Catch my point. If you let your blackness overrule your Christian salvation, then you have none. Even King in his fight was fighting for the content of character over the color of skin. People are pushing you with all kind of ideology about the black Jesus and the black man. It's just as evil as the white man when he promotes the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus. Ain't no difference in the evil. 901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490. Do I need to finish paying those children, Q?
You can't, because you had to pause for the call, man.
Okay, it is.
The Muslim Brotherhood is the mothership of Islamist terrorism, and central to that is a cosmic enmity with Judaism. So they have major problems. And furthermore, there's been investigations by the Middle East Forum that American taxpayer finances go to groups like this to the tune of $310,000 since 2007, going to groups including the Muslim American Society. Right. Though Over $47 million of taxpayer money goes towards groups. And so this is a chance for the IRS and the government to look into what's happening to public funds.
Well, and let's take a look at, you mentioned the timing of this, because the number of anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. in 2018 was like 1,879, and they appear to be rising.
That's right. The vast majority of hate crimes in this country are directed against American Jews, to the tune of 58% of hate crimes, FBI data from 2017. This is a form of contemporary anti-Semitism. This is Islamist anti-Semitism, which is very troubling, and it plays not only here into the demonization and dangers against Jews, but the global delegitimization and assault on Israel that we're seeing now in Gaza.
I mean, you look at the age of the children involved in this video, their young age. I mean, what could you call this if you don't call it indoctrination?
Well, remember, terrorists see children as their investments. If you tamper with their investments, they're going to come back to you. We know that from de-radicalization in Pakistan, where they assassinate Muslim scholars trying to teach the real Islam to children to prohibit the brainwashing. So this is very disturbing. And to think that those children might have been American and their parents may be American who knew that these children were going to this activity or singing those songs. In that video, there's clearly an adult woman on a cell phone while the children are performing. There's an adult filming.
Clearly the one little girl saying, "We will chop off their heads." I mean,
it's absolutely anathema to Islam, and many Muslims have written to me on social media aghast at this, because this is completely not what Islam teaches. Islam sees Christians and Jews as legitimate believers who are a party to paradise, who have a true message from God, and they are our brethren. We cannot be Muslim unless we believe in the Bible and the Torah.
Well, we reached out to the Muslim American Society in Philly for a statement. Again, we've not heard back. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We do know at this point that the event organizer, the latest information, has been dismissed. We'll see if there's more to come. Thank you. Thank you.
901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490. Thank you.
Well, I was listening to what you were saying. Were they doing an event or something, and they
No. That was what happened. Was somebody came in and filmed. You know, you go through the daily things in school. You got research. You got second period, third period.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is one thing. Like when you taught the kids Pledge of Allegiance. Mm-hmm. This was one of the prayer things they had. They were teaching the children, and the person thought it was out of order, so they filmed it. And when they filmed it, this is the Muslim American National Association, something like that. But when they filmed it, they turned into people. Do you know that this is what they're indoctrinating these children to? And that's how it got out. So when it got out, they fired the guy.
They fired who? The one that was teaching it?
Yeah, after it got out.
Okay,
but they have been doing it for years.
I'm going to say, because the damage already been done.
Yeah, damage been done. And what I'm trying to get them to see is with our children, not just with these Muslim children, with these children in the United States in this public school system, every one of these educators we done had on the show, they won't answer the question when you ask them about, are you going to let them introduce no drag queen in the school or teach our children that homosexuality is acceptable behavior? Well, we don't discuss that. As a matter of fact, Dr. Griffin, and I like her, black conservative, he pinned against the wall, she wouldn't answer none of his questions.
Nope.
And that's something to look at.
Well, she did, but she went around with it. Somebody, discriminate. We want everybody to come and to be in the schools and everything, but she never did say nothing.
She filibustered religion, like when I asked about holding the children back in the second grade, and she saying when later on in life they can take some class and then they can move back up. I don't want them moving back.
Yeah, they go to some school, go to virtual reality school or something, she said like that. But it don't make no sense to even hold the kids there. Why would you put my kids back in that school?
Well, see, there's a lot of stuff. Okay, they got the woman representing Ilhan Omar, that's her name.
Oh, okay.
She the one that talked all the stuff about the Jews over in Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
She said Jews was a Palestine. Who? Hold on, let me play that. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's what we elected.
What?
Yep, that's what we elected. But y'all putting it off with the stuff.
Another news alert for you now. This is the last straw. Ilhan Omar stuns with comments about Jesus. And it's pretty sickening. I love my Freedom reports that the Minnesota Democrat Representative Ilhan Omar is in hot water yet again. This time for her apparent endorsement that Jesus was Palestinian and not Jewish. Late last week, the Muslim scholar Omar Suleiman shared an article about Israel allegedly barring hundreds of Palestinians from traveling on Easter. And he captioned his tweet, quote, "I was once asked by a relative who is a Palestinian Christian why the Christian right in America largely supports their oppression. Don't they know we're Christian too? Don't they even consider us human? Don't they know Jesus was Palestinian?" Now, as evidence here, in the screenshot of the tweet, you can see circled at the very top there, who retweeted that? Ilhan Omar. She retweeted the false tweet claiming that Jesus was Palestinian. Now, Jesus was a Jew that was born in Israel when it was occupied by the Roman Empire. And when speaking with the Daily Mail, Rabbi Abraham Cooper of the Simon Wiesenthal Center slammed Omar's comments. Since becoming a member of Congress in January, though, she's come under fire for making several anti-Semitic and controversial comments. And then late last month, she was swiftly condemned for describing the September 11th events as some people did something, not the horrific terror attack that it was. And President Trump was not going to sit idly by. The president shared a video to his Twitter account that showed Omar making her comments at an event last month for the Council on American Islamic Relations. Yeah, Omar described 9/11 as some people did something, rather than saying a group of al-Qaeda terrorists hijacked 4 planes, ran 2 of them into the Twin Towers, and killed just shy of 3,000 innocent Americans, according to the official story. The president captioned his tweet, quote, "We will never forget." Take a look.
CARE was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something.
So you have no idea what...
I have another one, another plane that did. Some people did something.
Oh my goodness, really?
Another time, I think y'all get the point. It's all about that agenda, because another thing in that Quran, it tells them that you are to force Allah on the whole world, and if they don't, slay them. Don't take my word for it. Y'all got those phones, y'all got those tablets. Google, what is the Hebrew word for cursed? And you will see it's Allah. That's why you don't see Allah not one time in the King James Bible, not Old Testament or New. You see people trying to indoctrinate you into that blackness, to that religion here in America. But I'm here to tell you, it's not the truth. If your blackness means more to you than God, then go for it. But if God means more to you than your blackness, you got to lose this hate. You got to quit supporting that ideology. And you got to stand on the truth. For those that worship God must worship him in spirit and in truth. Let those that are redeemed of the Lord say so. Got too many silent Christians that's sitting around here not only not saying anything about these evil and demonic laws they passing, they going to vote for it for the sake of your blackness. God has allowed this man to get in office, and he's standing up for the church. And he's standing up against these homosexual rights. And he's standing up against this evil that they're going with. They're trying to implement laws and legislation to make the people of the church worship Baal instead of Jesus, giving us a false God. Mm-hmm. Your blackness will not give you salvation. That only comes through Christ. What you got? How many minutes we got, Q?
We have 4 more minutes.
4 more minutes?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play my friend again. I love playing this guy here. Every time I see this guy, you know what I think about? Who? The other guy.
Oh, Lord.
This guy, John Rogers, I could see him in the Alabama State House. I could see him standing before the people. And I can see him saying exactly what this representative finna say. It was just so sickening to me. Let's see when it pops up. It pops up here somewhere. Let's see here, maybe that's it. 901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490 if you want to catch us before we leave. Also, you can go to andreguy.com, click on Revelation Christian Center, and you can go to PayPal to donate to help us keep this truth out there. Not many shows out there Matter of fact, I think I was the only one I know of, a talk show that's based on the Bible. And they don't want the truth out there. It doesn't matter time, Alex Jones and different people that came after them, doesn't matter time, they're going to come after us. But I can assure you, just whatever time that God gives us on this air to preach his truth, I'm going to preach it. I'm going to show preach it. I sure am. Here go John Rogers, a.k.a. other guy. Matter of fact, he Michael Cox, this dude.
All I say to you, it all be a woman's choice. I'm not about to be as a male tell a woman what to do with her body. She has the right to make that decision herself. To rape her insect. Some kids are unwanted. So you kill them now, kill them later. You bring them in the world unwanted, unloved. These are the naked shit. So you kill them now, kill them later. But the bottom line is that I think we should be making this decision.
Kill him now, kill him later. Somewhere in his spirit, Q, he got to know his killing, don't he?
He know that.
Because I know he said it. So that's what it is. I think that's all I got. How many more minutes we got?
1 minute and 30 seconds.
Okay, well, on the way out, I guess I'll tell y'all a joke. Next person you see, you ask them, if you're driving a school bus and you pick up 3 kids at the first stop, you drop off 2 kids at the second stop, and you pick up 3 kids at the third stop, how old is the bus driver? I'll say it again. If you're driving a school bus and you pick up 3 kids at the first stop, you drop off 2 kids at the second stop, and you pick up 3 kids at the third stop, how old is the bus driver? If they don't tell you their age, you just got them with the joke, because they're the bus driver. So they're the one picking the kids up. The bus driver is their age. Gave you that for free. God bless and love y'all. I'll be back in here tomorrow. Even though tomorrow is not promised, it's wise to be prepared for it when it comes. Sheena Armstrong is the owner-operator of Insurance of Memphis, located at 3556 Hickory Hill Road. Sheena can prepare you today for what